Hey guys, what's going on? Rick here, and everybody's back at the house. LaLa, Papa, Chelsea, and the kids are back at the house, and they're sleeping. And figured I'd take this opportunity to go over the Hustler Super Z 60-inch. Phenomenal mower. We got it about probably this would be our fourth mow, so about 2 months ago. And we bought it brand new from Lazenby's. Before we get into it though, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell for future content. So let's jump right in. So first things first, what I like most about this lawnmower is the ease of maintenance, and it is easy. It's like I said, we've had it now for 4 mows, and I can tell you that you know, of course, so far, I mean, it's a brand new mower, so it's going to cut really nice with the blades that come from the factory. They're much thicker, much wider. The lift on the back of the blade is usually much higher coming from the factory, and those are also $20 blades, which nobody really uses. Nobody purchases those after the fact. You're always going to go to a copperhead blade, or you're going to go to just a rotary blade in general. And so like I had said earlier, this is a 60-inch. It has the VX4 technology deck. It's got a Kawasaki, if I'm not mistaken, an 850V. It's nice and dirty right now because of all the work that we did yesterday, and it's about to get some more work because, like I said, I have to mow the back of the property. It's got dual tanks on both sides. Each tank holds a 5-gallon gas tank. The 850V is super easy to do an oil change on. Let me go ahead and clean it up a little bit before I show you guys, because these things get used on the farm. It's not just a piece of equipment that's mowing down, you know, manicured grass all the time. It's all pastured Bahia grass. If you're from the south, whether or not, I mean, I'm pretty sure it grows all the way over into Texas, but Bahia grass is completely natural. You're not going to necessarily have it as thick as what we have it here unless you seed or fertilize or just water the heck out of it. But the grass, you tear up the root bed and get rid of everything, Bahia will come naturally. You don't really have to plant it where we're at. So again, back to the maintenance portion, super simple. So here's the back of the mower. Monster, get out of the way. This right here is your oil fill, oil cap. Also has the tester on it. All right. Down here, this right here, go ahead and put your box wrench on there, and that comes right off, and then drains through. Try to get up right up underneath that. It drains into a hole where you can then put your oil pan. So right up top here, that is your oil filter. Super easy again to get to, and that is your oil change. Your air filter sits right on top right here. Easy to get off with just simple latches right there that you flip open, and then take this cap off, and then your air filter flies right out. Very strong, very fast mower. So that's the back. Now let's go ahead and touch on something that I would have preferred to get something differently as far as the front tires. On the Kubota, this is what we still use this. The only reason why this thing I actually got in high school while doing a lawn service, and I went ahead and I bit the bullet and got one hell of a mower back then. This is a 60-inch Kubota diesel, the ZD21. It is old, it is heavy, and it is a tank. You know, we were having issues with the starter, where it actually started smoking way out there in the field before you get to the first generation chicken coop. And so we went ahead and we parked it, and it stayed parked for, and this is during the mowing season, it stayed parked for probably about, I'd say, a month and a half. And you know, finally me and my father, we came out here, mainly my father, Papa. He went ahead and he changed out the starter, and boom, it started right up. You can see there's a screwdriver in the floorboard right there. That is to start the actual mower. I think that we have bypassed every single safety switch on this. I know some people would advise against that, but you know, hey, it's our mower. These tires right here on this Kubota have given us more trouble than anything though on the entire mower, and it's because they are aired tires. These tires right here, as the front tires, as you turn the lawnmower, they will break the stem, which is what the air goes into, and you know, it'll break the stem if your tires are, you know, a little bit too deflated. Back to the Hustler. These right here, I know they look like flat free tires, but they are not. They are also aired. And the first day we had it on the farm, lo and behold, running a fence line, and bada boom, bada bing, we get a hole in the tire. Super unfortunate. Was quite irritated. Said a fair share of choice words. Got it plugged and was back to mowing. But I like, personally, personal opinion is I like flat free tires. It doesn't make for nearly as smooth of a ride, but it is way less maintenance to have your flat free tires or air free tires in the very front. So another cool thing, the other, here, let me touch on this real quick. The other thing that I wish I would have had, if you see over on the Kubota, you'll also notice that there is a metal grass chute right here. That is metal and very loud, of course. But that is a metal grass chute, and so it stays up 100% of the time. You know, back whenever I was mowing for a lawn service, or had the lawn service, that right there, it stayed down whenever I was close to a house, but other than that, it stayed up, just to disperse the grass a little bit more evenly along on the yard. That way you're not getting clumps. Back then, it mattered a lot what the grass looked like, and it still does, but when picking up your chute, it just disperses the grass for a further distance, and it almost carpets the lawn instead of just leaving it in a strip. This right here, as you can tell, is not metal, but it is not rubber. It is a harder plastic, and it does not bend well. It can easily break when hitting structure or hitting the side of a building, or possibly running into a tree, or you know, a plethora of other things. And so I would have much rather had a rubber mat style chute, more or less like the Toro does, I think, or something like Dixie Chopper has, where it's not even really a chute, it's just a metal plate that you can lift up and down at your leisure. So yeah, that's the chute. This right here, this top plate, that comes off with just this one screw right here, and then you can actually just lift it straight up. So, and the reason why it's bolted down is just to eliminate a lot of your vibration. If that was not bolted down like that, you would end up getting a lot of vibration, a lot of noise, and by the time you got done mowing, your feet would feel like, the bottom of your feet would feel like sand or jello. But once you take that plate off, then you have complete access to your the top of your deck and your blades, and the top of your spindles, not your blades, the top of your spindles. The deck, you'll have to get up underneath it to get to your blades. So a cool system, and I'll show you real quick. This right here is, I'll move my fat leg. This right here, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of holes. This right here is actually a pin, and it's got a magnet piece right here. Let me focus the camera if I can. There we go. A little metal piece, or a magnet piece right here, and as this pin drops in, it goes ahead and it falls into a position, and then your foot, which I will tell you this, if you have a weak foot, this is probably not the mower for you, at least as far as adjusting the blades, for one simple reason. My wife, who's not a large woman by any means, but she's also not a little weakling, she has a tough time pushing down on this. If the mower is running, and the blades are engaged, when she pushes up on that, her butt actually comes off the seat, and a safety feature, because she's leaving the lawnmower with the blades running, it wants to turn off. Me, being an elephant, I do not have an issue with this. Just push down, and then at that point you'd go ahead, and while you have your foot pressed down on that, you want to lift up on this, and then that drops down to the position that you specified. Now you can tell there's no lettering or numbering or anything like that on this top little hole section right here. In order to lift the deck, you push back up. Now if you look down here, you can see the chart that coincides with the holes right there. Now this is not, me and my dad are both in agreement, this is probably not the best system to have it on the floorboard. Your feet and everything else. Now we'll see how long that sticker holds up, but it's my guess it'll probably last a couple seasons, maybe 2, but after that you're probably just gonna have to go ahead and go off memory. Now if you just look down there, the lowest it'll go is 1 inch, and it goes all the way up to 5 1/4. So really all you have to do is remember 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1.75, 2, 225, 250, 275, 3. All right. Now if you can go ahead and you can remember that it goes in quarter increments, I guess it's not that big of a deal. And honestly, in the time that I've had it, we usually just keep it on in between 2 1/2 or 3, depending on how long it has been since we mowed, or what section of the lawn we're in. All right, so with this Kubota, let me zoom out. That seat, whenever I first got it, was the most comfortable thing. I was also 16 years old, and had a wonderful back. And I'm not old now, I'm 32, but I can tell you that my caboose feels like I'm 80 when I get done in this seat. Whenever it's adjusted correctly, as you can see, it goes set at 280 right now, which is not my weight. I weigh 302, but I can tell you that 280, or at 280 for me, the seat has a lot of absorption to it, and I don't know how this works, but it works wonders. My wife, she usually sets it to the lowest setting, and that works perfectly fine for her. So that's the seat. This is your control panel. All right, nothing too nothing too spectacular, nothing too much to look at. You got your PTO and gauge, your blades. You do have a choke. You have your throttle. You have your dual tank fuel level, and then whenever the mower is turned on, you have your hour meter. All right, this one's at, I know it's upside down for you guys, but it's at 27 hours. That's 4 mows, my lord. All right, you do have a simple key right here, and it reminds you to do all these things. You know, make sure you wear your eye protection, your ear protection, and make sure you wear boots, not sandals or flip-flops. So don't go and get your Crocs on and mow like I do and like Chelsea does. It's not a good idea. Last thing I want to touch on this lawnmower, and it's a really cool thing. I will tell you on the Kubota, the belt, honestly, believe it or not, we've got the mower in 2006 or 2007, somewhere around there, and it still has the original belt on it. The belt on that is thicker than you would get on a standard tractor, something like this. That thing right there looks like it would be something that would run a bush hog. And yes, I know that a PTO runs a bush hog and not a belt, but I'm telling you, the belt on that thing is thick, and it looks like there's damn near no wear and tear on that belt over there at all. Now, mowers nowadays are built much differently. They don't have as thick of belts on them, and also this is a gas mower, where that's a diesel. So this one's just like I said earlier, it is built like a tank. This one right here is built solid, but there's a huge difference in the amount of metal. And to be honest with you, this Hustler, another selling point was the amount of metal on it. And it's still not even as close to the amount of metal as the old trusty, other than the starter Kubota over there. But there is a ton of metal on that Hustler in comparison to, I'm getting off topic. All right, so let's jump up underneath the deck, or underneath the floorboard right there, and I can show you the last thing before we start showing you guys some footage of the mower actually in action. So this right here, I don't know how well you guys are gonna see it, but I'm gonna try my hardest to show you. This right here, after you get all the clumps of grass from yesterday's mowing out behind that, you may or may not be able to see a chain right here. That chain, as your belt, we're going back to belts now, as your belt loosens up, you can actually pull this chain a couple lengths, and it'll readjust the tension on your belt, therefore giving you a better blade speed and cutting grass and extending the life of your belts. Once a belt gets worn out, stretched, your blades, they're not going to turn at the correct speed, and you will end up getting a less than best quality cut out of your lawnmower. And so that is a really cool add-on. Not even an add-on, it is included in the mower. But it's that attention to detail that Hustler put into this lawnmower. The caster wheels, the cool thing about them is they're rounded right here, and so as you turn the mower, whether or not you're mowing pasture grass or a manicured lawn on like a half acre to an acre, this right here will roll across, no issue, and it's not going to gouge out the grass. I know with the Kubota over here, this is what looks to be a really cool setup, because these right here actually turn. Now that right there is super loose, and it has been since shortly after getting the mower itself, and so there has been a lot of gouging issues with this lawnmower right here, and so I enjoy the recessed wheels with just kind of like the rounded edge. They seem to do a really nice job. They seem to do a really nice job on our grass here. And we do have a lot of divots. We got a lot of curvature to the terrain, and so I feel like that's a pretty fair test. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys some footage of me mowing this back portion of the property, and hopefully you guys get a good measure of how this will perform. This grass is all the Bahia stalks are, and you can see where we've kind of gone over it within the last day because I did weed eat all along the side of the shop and everything. But the grass out here and along the path and towards the back by the memorial tree, all of that right there is hell, the stalks are all up to my high shin, the top of my shin, and the actual grass portion, the blades of grass are all above my boots. So we'll go ahead and we'll start that now. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the GoPro, that way you guys can see all that, and yeah, enjoy. Woo! So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video of just kind of the walkthrough of the Hustler Super Z, and it is a phenomenal mower, you know, and so is the Kubota, and the whole, like I said earlier, the whole reason why we switched over to the Super Z right here is simply because the Kubota was just kind of on its last couple legs, and you know, one of the most important things to me and my father is just to make sure that, you know, when we need to mow or when we need to do something, we can just go and do it. We don't have to worry about, you know, we don't want to worry about, is the mower going to make it through this mow? Are we going to have to sit there and hunt down a mower or hunt down a way to mow the grass for a month because we're in the process of purchasing a new one, or we're in the process of repairing the one that we have? So like I had said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like it, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for future content. Till next time, thank you guys for visiting the farm, and don't forget, treat others as you'd like to be treated.